Why did Jungkook's words make Jimin cry in the middle of the night, in a closed room with no one else knowing, until Jimin himself decided to speak up? This statement does not come from fan speculation or baseless rumors often circulating online. It is a revelation that emerged from Park Jimin's latest official interview, a BTS member long known as a calm, composed figure, always careful when expressing personal feelings in public. But this time something unusual happened. There was pain, there were tears, and there was a level of honesty too deep to hide in an exclusive interview released by a leading Korean media outlet and distributed via HYB's official channels. Jimin finally spoke about a private moment that had previously been known only to a few within BTS's inner circle. Jimin's voice trembled, his eyes reddened, and his words faltered as he revealed that he cried, not because of physical pain or work pressure, but because of something Jungkook said, his friend, groupmate, and someone who has grown alongside him for over a decade. And when asked if he was ready to share what Jungkook actually said to him that night, Jimin responded with one short yet devastating sentence. His words were too honest and too painful to ignore. What exactly did Jungkook say? Why did it make Jimin, who has faced hundreds of thousands of spectators, media scrutiny, career pressure, and personal loss, bow his head and cry alone? And why does Jimin feel that ARMY, BTS's devoted fans around the world, must know about this? The first clue came in Jimin's explanation of the emotional state of the BTS members after a long transition period, from global fame to the decision to take a temporary hiatus, followed by each member entering military service one by one. According to Jimin, this was not merely a pause in musical activities, but also a deeply painful and introspective phase for each individual. He said that many of them dealt with guilt, restlessness, and questions about the future. "We're not kids anymore," he said. "We don't just think about songs and choreography. We think about life, relationships, and the legacy we leave behind." But that night, Jimin continued, everything changed. In a late-night conversation in their private studio, Jungkook, usually cheerful and full of laughter, opened up a different side of himself, a side that even Jimin admitted he had never fully seen before. Jungkook talked about the burden he carried as the maknae, the youngest member often at the center of attention. He expressed anxiety about how he often felt he had failed to protect his fellow members, especially Jimin. He told me, "Hyung, I know you always seem strong, but I realize I rarely ask if you're really okay." Jimin paused as he recalled those words. It was like a heavy blow, because I wasn't okay, and I never told anyone. Jimin continued, saying that during the conversation, Jungkook also apologized for not being present enough during critical moments when Jimin faced personal pressures, from losing a family member, the anxiety of solo achievements outside the group, to the feeling of isolation during the pandemic that silenced the world's stages. He said, "I just kept singing and dancing, without realizing you might have been struggling alone." That sentence, Jimin said, shattered the last defense he had built all along. But more than just an apology, Jungkook said something that instantly broke Jimin's heart. He hugged me and said, "If it weren't for you, I might have already quit." A statement that is heavy, emotional, and unexpected. Until now, the public has known Jungkook as an icon of perseverance and confidence. But behind the scenes, there was apparently a fragile feeling that he could only reveal to someone he regarded as a pillar. Jimin. Why is this moment important, and why must ARMY know about it? Because this is not just an emotional story between two friends. This is an affirmation that even global idols have hidden wounds. This is a reminder that true friendship does not always come in the form of stage hugs or livestream jokes. Sometimes friendship manifests in tears, in delayed words, and in the acknowledgement that someone's presence may have saved another's life without us realizing it. The interview sparked a wave of reaction on social media. Keywords such as Jimin, Jungkook, and Hyung I'm sorry dominated global trends within less than an hour after the excerpt of the interview transcript was published. Many fans voiced their emotions, expressing how the emotional bond between BTS members provides a unique strength to millions of people out there who might be experiencing the same, hurting in silence, just waiting for a simple sentence to feel that they are not alone. However, not everyone responded with empathy. Some questioned the motive behind revealing such a private moment. labeling it as internal drama that should not have been made public. Responding to this, HYBE released an official statement clarifying that Jimin's decision to speak was entirely personal and not connected to any promotional or commercial agenda. This is the voice of a human being who wants to be heard not as a celebrity but as a friend, they wrote. The next question is, why now? Why did Jimin choose this moment, amid BTS's hiatus as a group, to open that old wound? In the rest of his interview, Jimin answered honestly, "Because I'm afraid time will make us forget to talk to each other. Because if I don't say it now, I might lose the chance forever." That statement stands as an important message in the emotional narrative of BTS, as a group that not only relies on musicality and choreography, but also on deeply rooted interpersonal bonds. In an entertainment world that often separates professionalism and emotion, this confession is a rare and courageous exception. Behind the camera flashes and the world stage lights are two human beings healing each other. And in a quiet room, when no one is watching, honest words can be more powerful than applause. This is why Jimin's confession is so important, because he isn't just speaking for himself, but for everyone who has ever held back tears, carried burdens in silence and hoped someone would say, "I see you. I appreciate you." And now the question is no longer just about what Jungkook said, but also about all of us. Have we been attentive enough to the people we love? Have we said something before it's too late? However, amid the surge of emotions and attention drawn to Jimin's confession, we must pause for a moment and ask critically, did all of this truly happen as described? Was the emotional moment that was so widely spoken of real? Or was it merely a narrative deliberately constructed to evoke sympathy and reinforce fan loyalty? Could this be part of a modern media communication strategy where reality and script are increasingly indistinguishable? This statement is not to dismiss feelings, but to serve as a reminder. We live in an era where the line between fact and fiction is very blurred. Perhaps the moment claimed to be heart-touching was real, filled with honesty and sincere pain. But on the other hand, it could also be a narrative constructed, carefully composed to draw public attention, generate trending topics, or even boost sales of certain content. Are we witnessing emotional honesty, or merely the target of a meticulously planned marketing strategy? Here lies the importance of skepticism, not to deny everything, but to challenge ourselves not to be easily swept away by the flow of narrative. Who first disseminated this story? Do they have hidden interests? Have we seen concrete evidence, or are we relying solely on testimonies and fragmented sentences that have already undergone distortion? Why did the mass media choose to highlight this moment massively? Is it due to its urgency, or its commercial value? We emphasize that this news refers to many popular sources widely circulated on social media and digital platforms, but not all of them can be independently verified. Therefore, we invite you, readers and army worldwide, to continue asking, do I believe this because I know, or because I want to believe? Let us reflect together before we conclude, share, or even fully trust. Because in an increasingly complex information world, skepticism is not a form of distrust, it is a form of responsibility.